Welcome to Obsession Engineering. They say the line between madness and genius is very narrow, although I think my next plan might be more madness than genius. The plan, of course, does involve a motorcycle, but not just any motorcycle. This is, by far, the worst motorcycle I have ever owned. This is a 2008 Honda DeVille, and I have bought it with my own money. It may appear to be a complete piece of crap, but it has magical powers, because between this bike and you, we're going to fight cancer. On the longest day of the year, 2023, me and this bike are going to ride from Land's End to John O'Groats in a day, with no motorways. And the reason this has to be so crap is because there is a price cap on the bikes of £600. But to make it a bit more of a challenge, I didn't spend £600. For this Honda DeVille, I paid £300. And if I'm honest, I might have overpaid. Although it might not look particularly good from a distance, close up it gets no better. So there is a distinct reason this was 300 quid, and there should have been an alarm bell at that point, because I've bought this off a guy called Sean, really nice guy. He's also doing the challenge. But instead of using this bike, he's gone and bought another one. So that might hint that this isn't actually that good. But anyway, I've got it now, so we'll make the best of it. Alright, let's see some details. The bodywork needs a little bit of fettling to get it back into to full order. Yeah, that rattles a bit. In the cubby hole down here is one of the two bar ends, but not the other one. The handlebar there's a little bit bent, but that just adds a bit of character. Does have heated grips, which is quite the luxury, and being a Honda DeVille, it has a speakers, because it has a stereo, and under there is a USB charging point. Or it might be the USB for the speakers. Either way, it's got some sort of USB thing. Also has some of the bolts missing out of it. Right, down the front end, last year for its MOT, it had new, well, replacement discs and forks. But one of the forks is leaking quite a lot of oil, so I will do that at some point. The tyres are also completely shot, so I've got some of those to go on it. This is a bit of a feature, that exhaust pipe isn't attached to it anymore. Luckily, parts for old Honda DeVilles are cheap, so I've bought another rear exhaust header pipe for £30 delivered. There's a little bit of patina on the engine and on the frame and on, frankly, everything else. Little scuff on there, and I'm not imagining that was from crazy lean angles. At some point it had a bit of a running issue and was basically filling the back of the exhaust up with fuel and then burning it, hence why that's nicely coloured, but it looks like titanium now, so it's added power. Right, both of the side panel like pannier boxes are damaged and held on with sticky tape, but I have got with the bike some bigger side panel pannier things that will go on it, so that's nice. There is a very handy top box which rattles a bit and has some air holes drilled in it for if you want to take your pets with you. The seat does look very comfortable though, on the assumption I'll be sat on that and not stood at the side of the road with the bike. So I'm assuming the previous owner had maybe started looking at fixing some of the issues, because there's no bolts in that, and the head's missing off that, and there's, as you look around it, quite a lot of I keep saying patina, but I think we can be realistic. There's a lot of corrosion. The back wheel is kind of furry and the tyre is basically bald. Right, engine wise, when I power the dash up, and I have heard the bike run 151,000 miles, and luckily the engine is mechanically perfect as long as you only want to use 5 of the 6 gears, because apparently second gear is decorative more than functional. So that's it. An absolute peach of a bike that I'm sure within just a few minutes of work will be back up and running. Hopefully. So we've seen a bit about the bike, and now I'm going to tell you a bit more about the challenge. So the challenge is Land's End to John O'Groats in a day on the longest day of the year, hence termed the longest day challenge. This is the 10th year that the longest day challenge has run, and John McAvoy, who started it, basically thought it was a good idea with some mates in a pub to do a silly ride once a year. Then of course they decided they really ought to do it for charity. To date, the longest day challenge has raised over £60,000 for Cancer Research UK, which is awesome. And that's going to be going to work to really help fight against cancer, which, let's face it, is crap. I've set a fundraising target of £10,000. That might seem like a lot of money, but if you put £1 in, and every one of my other subscribers puts £1 in, then we're going to smash through the target anyway. So please, please click on the link down there, or up there, or up there, wherever I've got around to putting it, and give me your money. You don't have to give me a fortune, but every little bit helps. As we all know, cancer sucks ass. It's just a hideous thing, and everything we can do to fight it should be done. A couple of years ago, I lost my aunt to cancer, and she'd had it, she'd fought it, she'd done everything she could, but in the end, it got her. And, you know, it devastates a family. It's just hideous what it does. But the one I really remember is my granddad, because I was younger then, things affect you even more, and my granddad died of liver cancer. Now, me and my granddad, when I look back, actually had quite a lot in common. So, he was an engineer, basically worked at the same place I did my apprenticeship. Back in his youth, he had a Scott motorcycle. Apparently, when him and my grandma were courting, he used to take her out on the motorbike, and at one point they fell off and she was covered in bruises and never ever told her mum that because she knew she'd get into trouble. And him and his mates used to get on their bikes and they used to rip around the local countryside around Lincolnshire. And of course, now when I look back, I think me and my granddad are probably actually the closest linked in all of my family. But other than in my sort of early youth, I never really knew him, because cancer took him away before I really got the chance to get to know him. So we all know somebody who's been affected by cancer. It might be you. I really hope it isn't, but it might be. Or it might be your loved one. It might be your husband, wife, mum, dad. It might be your kids. So anything we can do to fight cancer must be good. And if it involves me riding that piece of crap Honda all the way to Land's End and John O'Groats, then that's what we're going to do. So please, click on the link, give me some money, let's fight cancer. So the plan over the next few months is to fix this piece of crap Honda, and it's never going to be a peach, but I just need it to be functional and reliable, hopefully. So during the project, I'm going to fix the bike up as cheap as I can, and then I'm going to go out and ride it. And when I go out and ride it, my plan is to go and visit some of the other people who are doing the challenge. There's, I think, 30 something of us in total. Go and visit them, see if their piece of crap projects are coming along nicely, and go and visit the man who came up with this stupid idea to begin with. So please subscribe to the channel, make sure you keep up to date with the piece of crap Honda challenge, and more importantly, give me your money so we can fight cancer. Thanks for watching.